Hello precious gems, welcome or welcome back to my magical tarot corner of the internet. My name is Boyish Empress, aka Raven, if you are new here, and I will be your host, your guide, your tarot reader, and your buddy for the duration of this reading. So welcome in. Today I am doing a pick a card reading, and the topic of exploration is, what are you alchemizing? To alchemize is to change and transform something, often in a way that has a magical quality. So this can be from our actual efforts magically and through our spirituality, but it can also be a natural process that happens. Situations in our lives alchemize just by our being and just by the duration of our lives and times a changin'. So that's what I want to explore today. We're gonna see what this process of alchemization and transformation has been like for you. Hopefully it gives you some recognition. Hopefully it can help you center back in on a level of pride and appreciation for yourself and the way that you move through your world. So if that sounds like something you want to dive into today, then sit back, relax, get a drink, get a snack, and let's take a few deep breaths together before we dive into the pile selection. All right, let's breathe in for 4, deep into our bellies. And out for 4. Again, in and out. One more time, in and out. All right, give your body a little shake if you need to. Get some of that excess energy away. Leave behind your day thus far. Let's dial into the present moment. So for this pile selection, it is in your best interest if you're picking based on your intuition. So whatever your intuition feels like for you, if you're still developing it, perhaps pay attention to any bodily sensations. It could literally be a yes or a no coming in from your brain. It can be a tingly sensation in the hands or feet. It could be just something that is hard to describe. It could just be you feel inclined to choose one. All of these are valid ways of using your intuition, and these are not the only ways. So just dial into your being and your energy. Take as much time as you need. I am going to point out each of these piles and give you about 20 seconds to think it over before we begin. Okay, so this is pile number 1 with our raven pendant. Then we have pile number 2 with our cat stone. And then last but not least, we have pile number 3. This is with an amethyst crystal. Alright my friends, if you need some extra time, totally fine, just pause the video and then you can meet me at the timestamp below for the pile that you have chosen, and I will see you there. Okay, if you chose pile number 1, welcome to your reading on what you are alchemizing right now. What magical transformation process is taking place? You chose pile number 1, and you also chose this raven pendant. To me, I mean, listen, have a very strong connection to ravens, as you can imagine. To me, ravens represent magic. They represent a certain amount of dark exploration. They represent truth-telling and truth-seeking. And they also represent being cast out, misunderstood, or villainized. These are all my examples. If you have different associations with ravens, that's totally fine. This is just what the raven makes me think of. So we will see if this animal symbol colors your reading, but I'm going to start off with those cards on top, which are my original tarot deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. First deck I ever got. We're bringing her right back out. We're breaking her out. And I'm excited to work with the traditional imagery today. I think that'll be a really nice change of pace for me, because sometimes the other cards can get overwhelming. So we're going to start with that. Let's put our little guy to the side here. All right, pile number 1, viewers. What are you alchemizing? Alrighty, here are your first 4 cards. Let's dive right into it. Pile number 1. What are you alchemizing right now? For you, there has been a long process. I'm hearing years, perhaps 5 years, with that 5 of Pence coming out. This has been a long process, a years-long process of you alchemizing your current circumstances, especially around your financial stability, especially around home life, around family memories. I'm getting around a sense of belonging in this world. These are really powerful 4 cards: Death, King of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and the Magician. Your reading starts with death. Usually the Death card does not come through to me as literal. It comes through to me as a metaphorical or spiritual death, in which we shed layers of ourselves and kind of are reborn as a new version of ourselves. But actually right now, this is coming through as a literal death that you may have experienced. I feel like you've had no choice, I'm hearing, but to be really strong about something very difficult that happened to you. And it feels like this had to do with a literal death in the family. And with that King of Cups coming right after death, it doesn't feel like you had a steady progression into embodying your strength. From that jump, I feel that my throat's feeling so tight right now. Your process to other people has almost seemed miraculous. The way that you've gotten yourself through the situation that you've been through, you've reached the other side in such a poised, graceful, balanced way. But I feel like it's because you had no choice but to embody your strength after this death happened. You had no choice but to shoulder all of the difficulty, I'm hearing. Maybe in your family, like if this was a family death, and please, as I'm speaking, if this does not resonate with you, don't try to make it fit. It's all good, okay? The readings are going to keep coming from me. And if you're tuning in, I want them to, make sense. Otherwise, please go spend your time another way. I just lost my train of thought going on that tangent. So if this was a literal death within the family, I'm getting the feeling that you, because of your placement in the family unit, you were expected to shoulder the hurt, to shoulder the bitter emotions, to shoulder the grief of your other family members, and you had to come into a place of power to take care of your family. So maybe you were really young when this happened to you. I am getting a paternal energy, so perhaps it was your father or a father figure, a patriarchal figure within the family unit who passed away. And this person brought a lot of balance to the family unit. This person kept everything afloat. They didn't have to be a man. It's just the energy of connectedness. This person, you might use the phrase that they were the glue of your family. And when they passed on, or perhaps this wasn't a literal death and they left, or something happened where the person who was supposed to keep things together could not anymore, and you had to step up. And you weren't ready necessarily to step up. You still had your life to live. You still had your youth to experience, and it was kind of ripped away from you. This is a specific message that I'm getting, so this will only be for some of you. If you're not one of the people who literally lost a parental figure or a strong figure within the family unit, you did have something very significant happen to you that stripped away the sense of innocence, that stripped away the sense of security. And the only way that you were really able to survive and get out of the situation is to embody the stability yourself, was to find the strength within yourself. And I feel like you did this next to alone. Like maybe with the 5 of Pentacles here, you weren't exactly alone, but whoever was around you was also struggling to the point where you couldn't rely on them to carry you through. I'm seeing, like, even if there was a person older than you in your family who was helping you, who was meant to take care of you, they were not reliable, and you had to carry everyone through the situation. This is a really heavy reading, pile number 1. And if this is you, my heart goes out to you. I feel like you are kind of hardened by this situation at this point, or at the very least you don't like to think about it very much because it happened a long time ago. It happened a long time ago, and not only that, but you have transcended your circumstances. That is what this alchemization is. It was you taking literally the shittiest thing that's ever happened to you. You alchemized it. You squeezed as much juice out of yourself that you could to bring yourself from that awful situation into a new life. You created something new from the rubble that was left after this loss. And I just want to highlight, I was going to say that you are strong, but you know that you're strong. You don't need me to tell you that. What you need me to tell you actually is that you didn't deserve to have to be as strong as you were. You deserved to be soft. You deserved to be taken care of when your life was falling apart. And so I want to say I'm sorry cosmically. I'm sorry cosmically for the fact that you had to pick yourself up. It's not that this process didn't have its positives. It's not that this process didn't help you become the person that you are today. And I think that you're aware of that and that you carry that with you as like a silver lining. But, or I should say, and you deserved softness. You deserved your childhood or your adolescence, or whenever this happened, it feels like this happened when you were young. So maybe this happened when you were a young adult. Whenever it happened, you deserved that period of your life to be easier. I think that a lot of people around you had an easier time around this age than you did. And I want to say I'm sorry. I also want to say, as a tarot reader, usually we are pulling from things that we can recognize. So whenever I'm giving these readings and they're really dark and they're about really hard shit, I wouldn't be able to pick up on this energy unless I myself have experienced at least a fractal of it. But I want to say that I relate to this energy very much. This is a part of my story too. I just want you to know that it's hard, and it's okay to acknowledge that it was hard, even though it happened so long ago, right? There's this sense of like, things are looking better for you now because you found this King of Cups energy paired with this Magician energy. You've learned how to turn difficulty into fertile ground. And I feel that you are safer now, that you are in line with yourself now, that you are in touch with yourself now, and that you're not really in this stage anymore. But that doesn't mean that this doesn't kind of come back to remind our brains and our bodies what we went through. And so it's okay if it is coming up again. It's interesting that I'm getting that this happened a long time ago. I actually think I just want to pull a couple more cards from the Rider-Waite deck before we move into our oracle section, because I just want to solidify what the process is now. So you've transformed this, right? You've learned how to change your circumstances. You've learned how to use the magic inside of you to make things better for yourself and for the people around you. But what is the journey now? What is being transformed now from the remnants of this difficult time is what I want to know, Spirit. Four of Swords. Okay, that's all I need to know. Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So, the Four of Swords and Ten of Wands, we talked about how you had to muster up every ounce of courage that you had, every bit of strength within you. You had to learn how to stabilize yourself in the most tumultuous event you've ever been through. And fuck, it's a lot for your psyche to go through that. And I think perhaps there is a minimization. Since you're in a better place now on paper, there's a minimization of how your past is still affecting you to this day. And I'm hearing this message of teaching the body how to truly accept that it is safe. If you're interested, I made a video recently. This is my last video. It's called Tarot with a Friend, and I explored what archetypes the collective is going through right now. And in that video, I talked a lot about past trauma and how when we have been in a state of needing to fight for a long time, protect ourselves for a long time, and basically be hyper vigilant, hyper aware of our environments and our emotions and everything for so long. When we are in safe situations with safe people in the future, sometimes it's very difficult for our nervous system to understand truly that we are safe. And so that's what I talked about partly in that video. So if this resonates with you, I think you would get a lot out of that video if you're interested. I will link it wherever it can be linked. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from these final tarot messages for you. It is that now you are alchemizing that inclination for your body to and your mind to still be on the defense, to still be fighting when the threat is long gone. Okay, so with that 10 of Wands right under this 5 of Pentacles, you are holding on massively to the experience that you went through before, many years ago, it seems. Your body's still holding on to this memory, this bodily memory of having to carry so many things at once, having to travel from one place to another with all of these burdens. And so Spirit is helping you at this time, and the natural progression of your life is also helping you at this time to accept that you don't have to always be this archetype for yourself or your family anymore. You can lay down your armor now. You have time to rest. You have time to think about the future. Perhaps also I'm hearing your spirit team is asking for more prayer from you. Perhaps you found a lot of peace in prayer in the past, and they're saying reach out to us when you are tired of having to be strong, right? The King of Cups is so strong, but to me, he's the only king that doesn't need to announce his strength with temper or with this brute force. His power comes from his stability in turbulent times, and his power comes from within. His power comes from learning how to wield his emotions and how to work with them and not against them. How to make decisions that flow with the rest of the tribe, so to speak. So you do hold this kind of peacekeeper vibe in your community or in your family of origin. And there are such beautiful qualities to that, and you do genuinely bring this level of peace to wash over the people that you love. But Spirit is reminding you that you have to learn sustainable ways of how to remind the body that it is no longer in imminent danger. And I don't want to come off like you're not doing this, okay? Because this is currently what you are alchemizing. So you're learning how to find that peace and find that stability, but not from a place of absolute necessity where if you don't find the stability, things won't be okay. You're learning how to find the stability for yourself just because you deserve it, right? Not to scramble to be okay, but to learn how to be okay because it feels good to feel okay in your body. And you do deserve that. You deserve to put down all of these past burdens. And I know that it's easier said than done. And please be patient with yourself, because just because something happened a long time ago does not mean that it just falls away. Quite the contrary. We carry things throughout our lives, and we carry them until we learn how to work through them, oftentimes accept them, accept how they've affected us, and accept where we are now, and make a conscious effort to dial into what is truly happening in the here and now. And I think that you'll find that you've done a lot more work on yourself than you think. And there is so much space for you to come into peace, to come into acceptance of yourself and acceptance of what has happened to you. Alrighty, I am going to move into our final section, which is just a couple of animal spirit cards to wrap up this reading. Pile number 1, if you've been enjoying your reading so far, I would really appreciate it if you liked this video or if you commented, and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate how I show up today. If you're interested in shorter form content, I also make short tarot reading collective videos on TikTok under Boyish Empress as well. Okay, so your last cards what should I leave you with talking about what you're alchemizing? Camel, earthworm, and mouse. Okay, you're very much learning how to silence, or at least tune out a bit, the fear that you're still facing. You're balancing this fear of the past with desire for the future. The earthworm being the center of these 3 cards shows me that you are more open to new beginnings, and you are entering this state of beginner's mind in a lot of areas of your life that you might not even be aware of. But I want to tell you that the more that you allow yourself to feel joy, to feel pleasure, to accept and honor your desires for how in the future you would like your life to go, the more that you dial into that, the more your fears from the past will be balanced. The camel also talks about balancing fire with water. The camel is in an environment that is very harsh, in which a lot of any life forms that live in the desert, they have to be evolved to face such harsh conditions, right? And so I feel like from the difficulties that you've gone through early in your life, one of those silver linings is the fact that you have this inner arsenal of an ability to wash peace over yourself. You have this cooling water effect. You could be an Aquarius. That makes me think of the water bearer of Aquarius energy. But all in all, pile number 1 viewers, you are alchemizing the circumstances of your past, and you are learning that you're learning that even though what happens to us in our lives influences us, and it has a toll on us, and it can affect who we become, that we still have the agency to move forward into our lives and every day choose who we are. And so I feel this beautiful individuality coming up from you. Actually, also when I'm filming this, I'm filming this on March 7th. And this is the Virgo full moon, which is called the worm moon. So it's awesome that we have the earthworm in the center here. Spring is coming. This could be literal spring, like it is almost spring right now where I am. Or it could be a metaphorical spring, okay? The worms are rising from the earth again. The dirt is becoming fertile again. Things are going to grow from this dirt, and you can sense this. Just let it happen. Just let it happen, okay? You've done such a wonderful job so far, keeping your integrity intact, moving forward with your creativity, your agency, your love for self. I feel such a nurturing, warm energy from you. I also feel masculine energy from you, so you could identify as a man or a masculine person, but you don't have to. But I just want you to know that you have such a leadership energy. And that doesn't mean that you don't need to be taken care of sometimes, okay? Reach out for help. But you are very strong. And so when you can, use that strength to help you build the future that you deserve. Continue to step into every day with the knowledge that you have this ability of creation. You have the ability to change your circumstances, and you have learned that the hard way, my friend. I know that you have learned that the bitter way. But you have also learned from that experience, and you can take that gift of transformation and alchemization into other circumstances in your life. And my feeling is that if you have been through such an awful experience in your youth, nothing's gonna knock you down, baby. Nothing is gonna be as bad as what you came from, is what I'm feeling. You're so strong. I love you so much. I loved reading for you today. I hope that you got something out of this, pile number 1 viewers, and I will see you the next time. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day or night when you're watching this. Take care of yourself. Bye. Alright, if you chose pile number 2, welcome to your reading about what you are alchemizing right now. What process are you in? What transformation? Let's get started. You chose the little kitten. To me, what do cats symbolize to me? Curiosity, mischief in some ways, beauty, feminine energy, receptive energy, love, independence, magic. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the original Rider-Waite Smith deck, and I've been enjoying reading just with that classic imagery today. All right, let's get started. Pile number 2. What's the first card out? Wheel of Fortune. Love to see that. Justice. Wow. King of Pence. Whoa. Oh my god. Pile number 2. Oh, I just got chills simply bringing those cards out for you. This is kind of nuts. Pile number 2. This is overwhelmingly positive. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Because it's been working, my friend. Oh my gosh, I just have such a rush of positivity for you. There's been some type of success that you've come into recently, and it's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. I feel like I see the image of a dark sky just completely being brightened, like there are dark clouds in front of you and you're just busting them open, and there's just this amazingly clear blue sky on the other side. What is this? Let me take a second and kind of dial in on the process of alchemization that you've been going through, pile number 2. So the first thing I get is this sensation of proving someone wrong. But it's not a petty sort of thing. I don't feel like you've been taking action in your life specifically so you could prove someone wrong. It's more so that other people have doubted you about your abilities. Also about your what do I want to say? Your ability to achieve balance and justice. You may very well be a Libra or a Saturn ruled sign. So you could be a Libra, a Capricorn, an Aquarius, or a Sagittarius is what I am getting. I think what you have been alchemizing is your own belief in yourself. I feel like you've always believed in yourself, but somewhere along the way, like I was saying, there were or are some people in your life that just don't get what you're about. They don't see in you what you see. They don't see the leadership qualities. They don't see your luck. And luck is really highlighted here. That's why I'm saying you may be a Sagittarius placement. You have an ability to, I'm getting the image of mint. Like you plant mint in a garden and that shit just sprigs up everywhere. It's so abundant that it's almost frustrating to gardeners, because then they have to spend all of their time harvesting the mint. So there's something about your success and your ability to bring success into your life that other people in your life have tried to convince you is a burden. And it's not a burden, it's a fucking miracle. It's amazing. I'm gonna pull some more cards because this is a strong energy, but it's broad energy. And other than the essence of success, I need more specifics going into this. So let's move these. I don't know why, I just feel like people around you are afraid of your success. Or perhaps that has rubbed off on you over time and you became afraid of your success. You became afraid of what would happen if you stepped into your power. And also you were afraid of what would happen if you tuned into the flow of your life and the flow of divine timing and of spirit. With the Wheel of Fortune there, you have an acute awareness of these fateful parts of life. You have this sort of deep awareness that your life is meant to take a certain shape or form, and it's from a spiritual base of knowledge, and other people are often based in physical knowledge, so a lot of people didn't believe you. But I do feel like you're very spiritually aligned, and that even when you have gone down paths that were not so suited to your gut, because of what other people were kind of influencing your path and making you feel like you didn't have enough to go forward, deterring you from moving on with your life. But I think even in those moments, you held strong to this idea that you can do whatever you set your mind to. There's a deep, deep confidence within you that you have been extracting from yourself for some time now. All right, let's go for some more specifics, please, Spirit. Please expand on these energies so that I may fully see what pile number 2 viewers have been alchemizing and transforming in their lives. Yes, you're very easily influenced by people, and it's because you care. Yep. You're very easily influenced by the people around you, and it comes from a place of genuine care and genuine connection. You have a wonderful ability to collaborate with the people around you, a wonderful ability to show other people their strengths and kind of transfer your optimism to others. But the trouble is that other people have to be willing to accept your optimism. They have to be able to believe in your point of view. And that has been the difficulty, I think, in a lot of your relationships. I think you're around a lot of people that are much more pessimistic than you, but I am going to say that I feel such a strong optimistic energy from you, so it's almost like difficult for you to find other people who match your energy, because you're just vibrating so high, my dear. You just radiate joy, and you radiate trust in yourself and trust in the universe. And it's such a shame that at some points in your life, I feel like this light was kind of dimmed, and you felt like you needed to dim your light in order to protect it, because you're a very sensitive soul. You are sensitive to the energies of other people around you. And until we learn how to conserve our own energy and how to protect our own energy, especially when it comes to sensitive topics that we care very much about, projects and life endeavors that mean a lot to us, that come from a place of passion, you've had to learn how to protect these pieces of you by going through so many adverse experiences of other people kind of trying to take you down a peg. It's almost like, you've approached people with this like beautiful bounty of optimism, and for some reason I'm getting the image of like a bowl of grapes. I don't know. So like you're like going to a family function or something, and you are presenting your optimism like this beautiful new endeavor. Hey, I got a new job. I'm super excited about it. You're handing them this bowl of grapes, and you happen to tell someone who either doesn't have your best interest at heart or cannot see a bright future for themselves, and therefore has to rip apart everyone who sees brightness in themselves and is willing to share it. So that's the equivalent of them like taking the grapes, throwing them on the floor, and fucking stomping on them. And this has hurt you, but I don't think that it has damaged you to the point where you have lost that optimism completely, because even with this 5 of Cups here, with these spilled ambitions, with these unrecognized desires, you've still kept the hope, and you still kept in line. With this being the back of the deck, you are just such a loving person, and nobody can take away how loving you are. Even the most negative Nancy isn't going to make you hate your life. That's just not who you are. I am getting a parental vibe with this section here, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So maybe there is a masculine force in your life that this actually feels supportive. Perhaps you have a masculine influence in your life who is very abundant and has instilled in you this sort of confidence that you can do whatever you set your mind to. But with the Queen of Cups contrasting that in reverse, there may be a feminine force in your life that is somewhat unstable in their emotions, somewhat unstable in their own ability to feel their feelings. And in moments of weakness, this person has come at you with really vile, negative energy, when it's such a shame, because I mean, it's a shame for them. Maybe this is someone that you don't talk to anymore, or maybe this is just someone who over time you've learned that this person can't have a certain amount of access to you because of how they degrade your energy. And I was gonna say it's such a shame for them, because all you want to do is bring balance to situations. All you're interested in doing is having meaningful partnerships that bring out the value in each individual person. And when it comes down to it, all you want to do is share your love. You are such a pure soul. There's a childlike quality about you, and I mean that in a beautiful, respectful way, because you have always come to this person with optimism. And I think over time, after trying, you've had to come into a place of realization about what this dynamic, perhaps a parent dynamic, family or friend group dynamic, was actually doing to your energy. You would leave situations feeling so much worse about yourself when you came into them with such purity and such high energy and such love. And you've come into this awareness that in order for you to continue forward into your success, you've had to somewhat keep to yourself certain things. You've had to come into a place of protection around your own energy, around certain people. Yeah. Balancing. You've learned how to balance out. How do I want to word this? I see you almost like taking notes, keeping sort of mental tabs on people, maybe putting them through minor tests where like you're coming to them with a success or something great to tell them. You see how they react to you. You're coming at them with bad news, you see how they react to you. And over time you have built up this wonderful intuition of understanding how to read other people's energies and then act accordingly, which is a shame because you should be able to just shine your light, right? But like I said, you've become protective of your light, and you've become protective of, you've been protecting yourself from these people who aren't functioning like you, from this place of purity, from people who have this win or lose competitive mindset. It's not how you want to function. So rather than playing their games, you're saying, no, I'm not playing this game. In fact, I'm actively withdrawing from this sort of thing. So dialing in on what you have been alchemizing is your ability to go after what you want no matter what anyone has to say about it. You're alchemizing the negativity that others have brought you in. You're alchemizing the negativity that other people in your life have tried to bring you into, and you have gone through a process of shedding that from your being and saying, no. This is your energy, you can keep it. This is my energy, but I decide how I direct my energy and who I want to share this wonderful, juicy, deep, spiritual, pure-hearted energy with. All right, I loved that tarot portion. That was so beautiful. I am going to move on into the last couple of cards, which will be from the Animal Spirit deck, just to wrap out your reading. But pile number 2, if you enjoyed this reading so far, I would love it if you subscribed or just gave me a like or a comment to let me know how you felt about this. And please subscribe if you enjoyed how I showed up today. And if you want to get more juicy pick-a-cards like this one. Oh, and if you're interested in shorter form content, I also do short collective TikTok readings under the name Boyish Empress as well. Okay, let's dive into your last 3 cards. Pile number 2 to wrap out your reading of what you have been transforming and alchemizing. Fire ant, tarantula, and sea serpent. Okay, yeah. So originally the fire ant came out in reverse. I'm just going to ask my pendulum whether or not I should keep it in reverse. Okay, yes, so the fire ant should be kept in reverse. Yes, so this makes a lot of sense to me. The fire ant in reverse suggests your refusal at this point to go along with the larger masses at play. So there is a rebellious quality about you. Maybe you haven't even recognized that, or it's difficult for you to recognize that because you have such a loving energy. But there is this rebellious part of you only because the world around you just doesn't want to accept like your loving energy for some goddamn reason. So you are denying the urge to go along with what everybody else wants you to do with that fire ant in reverse. You also deny the option to direct your anger onto other people. It's something that maybe has been passed down from your family, this direction of anger that is misplaced, and you've been working really hard to keep yourself from doing that, to keep yourself from expressing your anger in ways that will hurt other people. And so yeah, there's something that this collection of people, this community of people is doing and engaging in that you have stepped away from. With tarantula, this is my favorite card in the animal spirit deck, by the way. I love it. It is representative of the crossroads, and I work with Lady Hecate, who is the goddess who, among many other things, watches over and governs the crossroads. So perhaps that's why I really enjoy it. But the tarantula is a consistent, loving mentor energy that guides us towards what is right for us, guides us towards our life's true mission, if you want to say, like guides us to the decisions that are in line with what our soul and our spirit wants. So I feel as if you have been truly listening to this voice. Perhaps you are coming across another crossroads in your life where you have two options to kind of choose from, and you are being advised to choose like you have in the past. I feel you're being guided to choose the road that makes most sense to you and have less regard for what the larger world would like you to do or like you to believe. So follow that voice inside of you. Feel into your desire coming in with the sea serpent. This is representative of, I think this is sacral energy, which is our life force. It is our ability to create. It also rules over our gut feelings and our intuition that comes from this very powerful center in the center of our bodies. So you're really, really being nudged to just continue following these hits of inspiration and continue following the things that feel good to you. This is what you are moving towards now, and you are transforming towards desire at all costs. And I'll leave you with just one word of advice from Spirit, and that word is attraction. You are very attractive to your desires, and your desires are very attracted to you. Wait, did I say that right? You are very attractive to your desires, and your desires are very attractive to you. Okay, there's this magnetic force between you and the things that you want, and you are being asked and guided by spirit right now to continue alchemizing your circumstances, to continue to choose love instead of fear, and to continue dialing in on this beautiful radiating sense of positivity that I feel from the core of you. Okay, this is one of your most beautiful qualities. It came through so clearly to me, so I want you to really treat yourself as special and as worthy of shining your light as brightly as it naturally is, which is very bright. I think that is all for this reading, pile number 2. Thank you so much for listening and for tuning in. I hope that you got something good out of this, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Take care of yourself. Bye. Alright, hello darlings. If you chose pile number 3 with the amethyst crystal, welcome to your reading about alchemization and what process you've been going through. Okay, so if you chose the amethyst, this is the only non-animal symbol that I put on my piles today, which is interesting. Perhaps there will be something in the first 2 decks that won't be in this deck, or vice versa, but we will see. We're just going to jump right into it. I am using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck with the classic imagery. I've really been enjoying reading with it today. This is my OG deck. I've had it for like 6 years or something crazy. So I love her. I enjoy her. Okay, let's get started. Pile number 3. What have you been alchemizing? Queen of Wands, the Moon, the Hermit, wow, and the 10 of Pentacles. This is a very interesting combo. Okay, pile number 3. Interesting energy. Let me feel into this. I'm feeling whimsical and silly. So I for some reason, I feel like you could be a Scorpio or a Cancer or a Pisces. Let's throw that in there, okay? I feel water sign energy. I feel... Do we have all the elements here? No, we don't really have fire here. But I am feeling this like fluid, loose sort of energy. I am recording this under a full moon tonight. This is the Virgo full moon. The worm moon on March 7th is when I'm recording this. So perhaps you have an inclination towards the moon. I just see you as like someone who is overtly magical. I think you're probably someone who's really into crystals, really into tarot. I feel this like bad bitch magical energy coming through. And I love it. I love to see that you have been really tapping into the unseen, tapping into the subconscious, tapping into this lunar energy. Perhaps you've been spending a lot more time alone. I feel as if you've been led to this hermit place from a situation that caused you to set strong boundaries. So I suppose this is your main identifier, the Queen of Swords. Maybe this is something that you've come into recently, or you've had it for a while, but damn, you are really good at letting people know where you're at. You are really good at updating people in your life. You're really good at cutting through the bullshit. You're really good at potentially cutting people off if they do not have your best interest at heart, or if they are not in alignment to you anymore. You just know when things are done, right? And the moon. Something in your life had been concealed for a long time. This was something internal, something that was easy to shove down for a while, something that was easy to pretend wasn't bothering you, but then it came to a head and it was illuminated. I also feel like you have one particular guide here that's stepping forward in this hermit energy, and it's almost like they had been lighting the way for you to enter a cave of your own. I'm getting strong Hecatean energy here with the hermit, with that lantern. Hecate is also the queen of witches, the goddess who protects and helps and rules over witches, and you feel like a witch to me, my friend. So just saying, perhaps Hecate has been calling out to you, but I also feel another guide in your spiritual circle who just has been lighting the way for you to look inward, and it's leading you to a lot of success, to a safe and abundant home life, to a family. I also feel like you've been wanting to start a family. Okay, interestingly enough, this may resonate for some of you, but not all of you. The guide that is coming in is actually your partner. I feel this like I feel this very strong partnership energy. But I feel like if this is you, if this is like you resonate with that, with your partner kind of guiding you and helping you, you and your partner are kind of like shut-ins together, but not in a bad way. This is just kind of the way that you are. You two are creating this beautiful, abundant home life together, and you just flourish when you are alone, even if you're alone together. So if that didn't resonate for you in a partner sense, then you have a guide on the spiritual, like on the other side, who is helping you and guiding you, and they're leading you to actually be alone. But this is a period of time, if you're not in a partnership right now, you're in a period of necessary solitude that is going to inevitably lead you to have the opportunity to start an abundant family. So I'm feeling called to pull some more cards for this collective, so we can get more details about the process you have been going through spiritually, and what you are building, what you are transforming in your life. But this is very positive. I do feel like you've been really prioritizing yourself, and I feel like you've been diving deeply. Perhaps you just got into therapy or something like that. If not therapy, just like taking care of yourself has been on top of your priority list, and Spirit's really patting you on the back for that. I'm seeing glamour magic. Not sure if you have heard of glamour magic, but glamour magic is a form of magic that it has to do with appearances. So we are either like, and you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I don't actually dabble in glamour magic. I just know a little bit about it. But this is magic that we can use to alter our appearance. This is magic that we can infuse into, say, like our skincare or our beauty routine or something like this. It's basically taking control of how you want to be viewed by others, but also it could be using magic to manipulate how you see yourself. So I really feel like if you're not already dabbling in glamour magic, look into it, okay? I'm sure there are so many videos, and this is how I learned about it. So yeah, like, type it in on YouTube, glamour magic. You're being asked to look at that here, because I feel like I just feel this. It's so funny because obviously I can't like see you, but I feel like you're really beautiful. I feel like you really enjoy makeup, or you would if you've never tried it before. And there's just something very like attractive about your energy, and it's just about how you present yourself, and you feel very magical to me, so I feel like merging these two realms of your life would be really great. That's just an aside. That's just Spirit just wanted me to say that to you for whatever reason. So look up glamour magic, my friends. Also, I'm getting such specific messages for this pile. If you want, I'm hearing if you want to dye your hair black, do it. You know, maybe somebody needed to hear that. I don't know. Okay, Spirit, let's dial back in on pile number 3 and what they have been alchemizing. Please show me in more detail the story that we have been uncovering here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. You are powerful. You've been working hard. You've been working hard spiritually. Wow. And 2 kings. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's going crazy right now. Yeah, so strength right under that Queen of Swords. You have really had to alchemize feelings of weakness and weak boundaries. You've had to transform. Maybe you were silenced, or you lost your voice for a while. You've really had to learn how to use your voice, and not even just use your voice. You've had to learn how to use your voice without feeling bad about it, and come into your, I mean, lack of a better word, bad bitch energy. Your spiritual determination has surfaced many things to you, and it's given you a lot of clarity. And to continue to receive that clarity, you just got to keep diving deep within yourself, is what I'm hearing. Like, this hermit phase needs to continue. I do feel like you're kind of just, I don't mean this in a bad way, you're kind of a loner in general. Maybe you see yourself as a lone wolf, and that's kind of like a part of your identity. And unless it's really hurting you, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with that. If that's just how you want to live your life, that's just how you want to live your life, baby. Like, that's totally fair. I just feel like right now you're not on any bullshit right now. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it is. You're very firm and focused on building your legacy right now. You're very firm and focused on building your finances, on getting to a more comfortable place for you. And the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords is here. So I know we mentioned water signs at the beginning of this video, but you could also be an air sign or air placement, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you are not, you are just very finely tuned in the art of communication right now, and Spirit needs you to continue speaking up, okay? Continue standing up for yourself. But right now, it is no mistake that you have been called to focus more on your finances, called to focus more on your solitude and self-care, on your abundance, on your resources, and on your spirituality. None of these desires or inclinations are for no reason. They are building you up so that you can get further into opportunities to build abundance and to build your legacy. With the 5 of Swords in reverse at the back of the deck, you're just really not here for the drama anymore. Maybe in the past you were wrapped into a crowd that spent a lot of their time talking about other people, and it feels like since you've started dabbling in spirituality and looking inward more, you have less and less of a desire to talk about people behind their backs, or to just talk about people in general. I just feel this very self-focused energy within you right now, and it's just how things have to be right now. And so if I do want to say, if friendships that you've built in the past are proving to not align with you at this time, it is totally okay to step away from them. We go through phases in our lives, and there's no way to tell whether or not that friendship will come back into your orbit and serve you. But I just want to say that, like, whatever is not working out right now, it's not working out, and that's okay. Just use your discernment to understand if that is for a season, like if a separation or feeling distant from someone is for a season, or if it is just kind of the person, right? Like sometimes we realize that someone that we were friends with was never really aligned with us, or they were for a short period of time and they are no longer. But other times there are just circumstances in our lives where it affects our relationships with other people. So like I'm getting the example of, like, if you moved far away from your best friend, perhaps you'll only be in separate states for a few years, and then someone will move back, or you'll move closer together, and then your friendship can pick back up. In that circumstance, it might just fizzle out for a few years, right? And then when you see each other, it's like no time has passed. That's really different than coming to the realization through your own self-work and through trusting yourself and coming to clarity about who you are and what you want, and realizing, oh, this person actually doesn't suit me, and we're not good for each other. And I'm getting this in a friendship vibe. Obviously, you know, take it how it resonates. Take it how it feels applicable to your life. But yeah, there's some discernment involved in you learning who's right and wrong for you, and you just accepting the phase in life that you're at right now. And if it forces you to be distant from some people, then just trust that it's going to be okay, because you have to go on your own journey, and people will fall out of line and back in line with each other, and it's part of life, right? So yes, overall, pile number 3, I feel like you are alchemizing the fact that in the past you were not so focused on your journey, and you got really caught up in circles of friends or things that were happening around you, and you have shifted and transformed into someone who is very devoted to their own path and laser focused on building the life that they are proud of. So there's been this shift in you, there's been this change. Allow this new version of you to come into their full form and greet them with love, because it's really, there's so much power in this spread, and there's so much positivity. And I don't know if you feel bad about this, but if you do, I don't want you to. I want you to be excited about this change and what you have transformed in your life. Okay, pile number 3. I am going to finish up your reading with a few cards from the Animal Spirit deck, just to round things out. But if you enjoyed this reading so far, please give me a like, a subscribe, or what else is there? Oh, comment if you enjoyed this, and if you enjoyed the way that I showed up today. It really means a lot to me. And if you like shorter form content as well, I'm also on TikTok, and I do collective tarot readings on there under the name Boyish Empress. Alright babies, let's get you out of here in a few minutes. Alright, let's see. Final messages for pile number 3 about what they have been alchemizing. Eagle, wow. Zebra, yeah, that makes sense. And turtle, I do feel like you broke yourself free of something, and it was a difficult process for you. You handled it amazingly, but it was very difficult for you. That's what I get from the Eagle card. You had to choose yourself. And it wasn't necessarily the choice that you wanted to make, it was just what needed to happen based on the circumstance that you were in. And you knew that you were going to go through heartbreak and difficulty, but you just had your eye on the prize, is what I'm seeing. And the prize, so to speak, was opening this well of creativity and opening this channel to spirit. I feel like you were around people who didn't understand the journey that you were on. That's a message that came out in another reading, I think pile number 2. You had to carve your own path. Pile number 2 had a familial feeling to it though, and this pile does have a friend group vibe to it though. But however that fits into your life story, you had to choose your own path and come into understanding that what truly matters to you long term is that you can look back on your life and accept the way that you went about things, accept the choices that you made, and understand your reasoning behind making those choices was always in alignment with what was truly right for you. And that has actually gotten you out of a lot of situations that you would have gone through, is what I'm hearing. Like, if you didn't start going down this more spiritual path where you are focused on your faith, I do feel like you would have continued cycles that you wouldn't have been happy with or proud of. And so you've saved yourself a lot of grief and a lot of headache, is also what I'm hearing. So if you have any regrets about how you've approached this situation, Spirit is coming through to let you know that you dodged a bullet with something. You dodged a bullet with someone or a group of people. It's almost like you were about to do something. You're about to join something, or you were about to commit to something or someone, and it would have been a negative sort of whirlwind for you, but I feel like maybe it was divine intervention, or you just knew, like this clarity washed over you and you knew all of a sudden the choice that you had to make around the situation. And if you haven't seen the rewards from making that decision yet, they're definitely in store for you. And you're gonna get some sort of confirmation or clarity around the situation. Perhaps some news will come out about someone that you stepped away from. Something that they did or something that they were involved with. Maybe someone's getting in a lot of trouble here. You really dodged a bullet. This is some serious energy that I'm picking up on, that you have completely avoided because you made a different choice, and the choice you made was actually out of character for you, and it sent you on this new journey where you've become someone different, and you've found yourself on a new path after making this unexpected decision. Perhaps that's why I was picking up on the fact that other people aren't understanding your path right now. It's because like they knew you as one thing, and then you started to shift and change in an authentic way, but it was so out of left field that the people from your past or the people around you were like, what are they doing? Like, I don't get it. Like, they didn't understand the progression that you went through. With the turtle, one of the last messages here is that like you shouldn't be afraid. One of the last messages here is like, it's okay to keep things to yourself, and it is encouraged to keep certain things to yourself. You're in a delicate process right now of shifting your life. I'm seeing like different timelines all kind of shown in front of me. There's a lot of different ways that your life could play out, and I don't say that to scare you. I mean, there's like a lot of different choices that you could make, and you are about to make some important choices about where you're going and about how you can be more in line with what you want out of your life. So Spirit wants you to be kind of discreet and keep things under your shell, so to speak, and have this like, don't be afraid to utilize some secrecy and some privacy, because you are entitled to privacy at this time. And something about privacy will aid you in the outcome that you want. If you're still around people who don't quite understand where you're going and you don't fully trust these people, continue to use that discernment that I was talking about earlier. Continue to hold strong boundaries, like I was saying earlier, and don't feel like you have to tell everything. Don't feel like you have to tell everyone everything. You can keep some things to yourself, is what I'm really getting. And protect this newfound beauty and getting the hermit energy again. So be really patient with yourself in the process of kind of going it alone in certain senses and carving out a new path for yourself, and know that you're going to need a lot of time alone to feel into your own energy to continue to make decisions that serve you. Alright, pile number 3, this has been your reading about what you are alchemizing these days and the transformations that you are creating. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you got something out of it, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. And to all my piles, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the buttons and do the things and ring the ding-a-lings to let me know that you like what I'm doing here, because as a new creator on YouTube, it means a lot to get support. Alright, bye my little dumplings.